Yes, I've got my fabric in the case that I took down to Anglesey, and I've had to leave my clothes in Anglesey. Now it's okay because it's my own property, and we're going back in 3 weeks' time. Thank goodness. But yeah, this has got, I was going to say all, but it's most of the fabric that I bought on our last sewing retreat, which was that week and a half ago, I think now. You all said you wanted to see the fabrics. So this is my Anglesey or Wales fabric haul. Hi there, I'm Christine the Gemini Stitcher and welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm not in my usual space because I needed somewhere to put my travel bag or suitcase. If you're interested, dining area behind me, my sewing space is that direction and we're this end of the garden room. Lots of light, gets rid of the wrinkles, jobs are good. But we're not here to talk about my facial worries. We're here to talk about fabric that I bought on my recent trip down to Wales and to Anglesey. You've all asked to see this. I wasn't going to show my fabric haul this time because even I think it's getting a bit much and I need to stop. But you've asked for it, so we'll do it. And then there will be no more fabric hauls, new fabric arrivals, other than Beyond the Pink Door until the end of November when I've been to the Knitting and Stitch Festival in Harrogate. I'm definitely not buying anymore because I've no room for it and I've got to make it all up and it's all becoming a little bit overwhelming. So I'm stopping. But it's going to help me, I think, to go through this fabric with you and try and decide what I'm going to make with it. I've got ideas for most of it, which is good. So let's get started. We went down to Anglesey on a week last Friday gone, and on the Saturday it was the Abakhans sale. Now they do, I think it's twice a year, they set a marquee up out on part of the car park. Huge marquee, fill it with loads of fabric at amazing prices. Now, compared to some of the people, or the majority of the people who were at this sale, quite restrained really, but we still got quite a bit of fabric. There's an image of me with the crate on wheels that we used to take our fabric back to the car. I don't think that looks too bad. It isn't full. You should have seen what some people were having to do on the car park. A lot of it was on rolls, and it was roll ends. And they were having to get back to the car, crate rammed full of these roll ends of fabric, and they had to start taking it all off the tubes, folding it all to get it all in the car. That's how much they had. We managed to fit all ours in. I was proud of us without having to start unrolling it. Anyway, so let's start with the Abakhans sale fabrics. No particular order, this is the first one. I think I've got about 3 meters of this, and it's got a bit of stretch, not a huge stretch, but it's a velour. Absolutely beautiful this. And I'm thinking I'm going to make some loungewear in it to swoosh around the house. I've got a good 3 metres, so I should be able to make really nice top, possibly a toaster. There's me, one of my toasters. Gotta love a good toaster. And some wide leg elasticated waist trousers. And then if I've got any left, I think I might make a hoodie. So that's 3 garments out of that fabric. And then I've also got it, the same fabric in this beautiful teal colour. And I'm thinking same thing again. Loungewear, maybe a hoodie or a zip-up hoodie. I've got the cashmerette, can't remember the name of it, but there's an image of it. I've got that pattern, so I might use that. And actually, so I might use that and do a bit of mixing and matching with those two, because I think they go well together. Lovely jewel colours for the autumn and winter. A hoodie in those 2 colours, I think, is a match made in heaven. So they're the first 2 fabrics. They were roll ends. Can't remember how much we paid for it, but it was dirt cheap. In the Abakhans sale, they also, when you go in, they have, I don't know if it was 4 or 6 big metal bins. Well, they weren't bins, they're like cages, full of fabric. And they just kept coming in and chucking more bits in and more bits in. And this is the bit that I thought was just the sale, not all the rolls as well, where you get a large bin liner size bag and you can fill it with as much fabric as you can out of these bins that you can ram into it, and you get that bag full for 10 quid. We were a bit picky with our fabrics because we've both got quite a substantial fabric stash. The wheat is Steph, by the way, who's not here today. Sorry. Maybe she'll do her stash with you, her haul with you another day, but she's very busy. Yeah. So we filled one bag between us because we were quite frankly struggling to find stuff that we would actually use, and we were trying to be sensible at an Abakhans sale where you're getting a bag full of fabric for 10 quid. But we did try, so we got one bag between us. So I got this. And it's a knit fabric, decent amount of stretch to it. That's the selvage, I think. That's the cut edge. Now, I've got about a metre of this. And as you all know, I can get the toaster sweater out of a metre of fabric. So I might have to use some black ribbing for the cuff and the neckline because to make the stripes work right. We'll see. But I'm thinking toaster sweater with that. Can't say how much it cost because it was in a bag that was 10 quid for the lot. So, I don't know, 50p. Another snuggly winter top is going to be in this. Again, it was in that bag. It's got stretch to it. I love the colours. Really, really like this one. But they're all sort of short edge, short length, most of the stuff in that bin. So again, I reckon just over a metre of that. Don't want to make another toaster, so I'll have to have a think. I might actually make a cardigan. I think a lovely Marlowe cardigan would look good in that. So that one's going to be a Marlowe. The next thing out of the scrap bins, we'll call them scrap bins, is this. Now, I absolutely love, love, love this. And I was planning on making a dress in it. But there's only a metre definitely only a metre of this. But what I'm thinking is I can combine it with some of the black ponte I got recently from G&G and make a dress. And what I might do is try and make the toaster use the black ponte for the neck, the cuffs, and try and get the front and the back for a dress out of that, which is going to be plenty long enough for me. Oh, and the sleeves. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Might have to have black sleeves on it. But I want a dress out of that. I'm going to get a dress out of that with some black ponte, one way or another. So if you know of a good pattern that's got panels that are a different colour in the side, that might work. If you know what pattern I'm talking about, tell me, then save me searching. But I'm thinking about that pattern, and I think it's an Ellie and Matt one. Let me know. Oh, there's one last piece. How could I forget this? That was in the sale. Wait till you see this. Loving it, and I'm trying to decide what it is. It's no stretch. Very, very tiny mechanical stretch in it. Low, for sure. Now, I picked this up and it was on a roll and we've shared it and we've both got, I think, about 3 metres each of it and paid about £6. £3 for 3 metres of fabric. Mental. When I showed this to Steph, she went, oh, I don't know. I said, why? What's wrong with it? She said, it just reminds me of baby poo. So, whatever I make in this is going to be called the baby poo outfit. Now, I have got an idea what I'm going to use this for, but I can't tell you. It's going to be used when I go back down to Anglesey for our special edition retreat, which is going to be at the end of October, so it'll be early November, so it's only a few weeks away, and this fabric will be making an appearance then. And then we went in the store. And oh my goodness, they had some amazing fabrics. They're all still reasonably priced. We had a quick look through the bins, but we'd spent ages rummaging through the bins, remnant bins outside, and probably weren't in the mood for it. So I headed straight for the fabrics that are on the roll. And I spotted this. Oh, absolutely. Oh my God. It wasn't the first thing I picked up actually, it was the pink fabric that we both made our toaster sweaters out of. There's an image of me and Steph in our toasters if you didn't see it. And next to it was this. Now it's a stretch, a little bit of stretch, cord fabric in an olive green with some dark brown spots, polka dots all over it. And I just fell in love with it. So I got 1.5 metres of that and 1.5 metres of the same fabric in cream with brown polka dots. So again, I've got big plans for this. Can't tell you the pattern I'm going to use. It's going to make an appearance again on our little Anglesey special sewing retreat. So they're both going to be made up quite soon, thankfully. Then we had a look in the bins. I have got one last piece of fabric, but I'm going to show it at the end because it's my special piece and there's a little story to it. As we were walking out, we'd paid. And then as we were walking out, we spotted this and went, no, we're shopped out. Got halfway down the stairs and I turned around and said, I can't leave it. I just can't leave it. And I'm glad I didn't because, and we both got the same fabric. because they had two pieces of it. And I think it was about £19, but you get a little card that gets stamped, and every so often you get discounts. Well, I had one last stamp, and then I was getting 15% off. So I said, well, if we go back in, find out how much it is, and work out how much, ask them to work out how much it is with my 15% off, and I'll buy them both. So it worked out, it was £19, and then we had 15% off that. So that's what, about just short of £3.50. It's about £16 mark for this. Absolutely beautiful. I suppose it's coating. It feels absolutely gorgeous to stroke. It really does. And my plans for this are to make one of the coats with the hood on that Steph made in the boucle. There's Steph in her boucle coat, and I want to make one of those like a car coat, just to slip on and be snuggly, unlined, simple, easy to make. And I've got quite a lot of this actually. Let's have a look. I've got enough for two. And I've got probably about 2.5, nearly 3 meters of this. So I'll have some left to make something else as well. Maybe a little jacket. What else did we get? Oh, the special fabric. We're going to rewind back to the journey we made down to Anglesey on the Friday. Steph decided she needed some jeans and she didn't want to make her own. So we called at Cheshire Oaks, which is a big outlet village near Chester and Birkenhead, but halfway-ish down to Anglesey, just off the M56. So I said, well, we'll call at Cheshire Oaks, not a problem. And I was really proud of myself. I didn't buy any clothes. I know, some of them were really reasonable. But I did need winter boots and ended up buying 3 pairs of boots. Oops. In fairness to myself, 2 of them were only £25 each, and one of them, which was a knee-high boot, perfect, in black, was £44 from £100 and odd. Can't show you them because I've left them in Anglesey yet again because we didn't have room in the car. But I did buy some trainers. I was stood outside Marks and Spencer's waiting with the dogs because we had the 2 dogs with us, waiting for Steph. Now, if you've got dogs, Cheshire Oaks is a great place to go because they actually let them in the shops. I know. Apparently, if there's a little paw print on the window, you can go in with your dog. Brilliant. And right across from Marks and Spencer's was the June store. And I didn't know dogs were allowed in, so I'm stood there thinking, like, sort of window shopping. And one of the lovely ladies came out chatting to me and she said, can the dogs have a treat? I said, oh, of course they can. So I thought, you know, I want to be cheeky. So I said, is there any chance I can just nip in? They will behave themselves. I just want to look at your trainers. Oh, dogs can come in. Well, she was explaining about this sign on the window, so brilliant. So she said, I said, now, where are they? I don't want to be wandering around the store. She said, what is it you're looking for? So I showed her what I had on. I had the style of June trainer that I like. So she said, oh, we've got some amazing ones in. Do you like Chanel? And she meant Chanel. And I'm not sure whether she was having a joke or not, but from ever now, Chanel has to be called Chanel. It just sounded so funny and cute. Anyway, I said, oh, yeah, we've got some gorgeous ones in. And I thought, oh, here we go. So she took me over to where the trainers were and picked these up. And I can show you them because I bought them. These are the ones she showed me. And they've got Chanel style fabric. And you can see, because it's sparkly as well. Let's see. Oh yeah, you can see a little sparkle on it. And we'd dropped Lucky. They're not full June price because it's an outlet village, and then they had a further 20% off. So I think I got these for £40 odd. I just couldn't leave them. And they had them in my size, tried them on, perfect fit, super comfy. And then, while I was waiting for her to get the size 4s to try them on properly, the girl behind the till said, "We've got matching handbags, you know," and I went, "Really?" She said, "Oh yeah, they're all on a display over there, go and have a look and I'll tell you there." Oh my goodness, they had a choice of about 6 bags that go with them, and they were all discounted, so they were all about £30 odd. No point making it. I couldn't have made one as nice. Now, they had crossbody bags, they have bum bags or fanny packs, wherever you are in the world. I can make those, so I decided I was going to get a bag that I would find daunting to make myself. And here it is, it's still got that. It's not been unpacked properly yet, it's just been put away in my wardrobe. But look at that. Matches the trainers. Oh, look a Bobby Dazzler in these, aren't I? You know, ladies, that lunch kind of bag, isn't it? Really pleased with it. Loads of room in it. So yeah, I've treated myself to a matching bag. So let's go back now to Abakhans. Sorry I'm jumping around a bit on this, but they all link in. I decided when we got to Anglesey, tried to show the Steph the trainers and the bag, and we had a little bit of a trial. And she said, "You need a matching jacket." I said, "Yeah, I do." "When we go to Abakhans tomorrow, why don't we have a look?" And I said, "Well, I can't see them having any." But guess what? They had. Are you ready for it? Oh, this baby. Look at that. Absolutely beautiful. Now, it's not a perfect match, but what is it they say? A man on a flying horse won't notice. And from here, those two together look fine, but that's a darker grey and that's got more white in it. But hey, who's gonna notice? So yes, I've got this. Now I'm not going to make a little Chanel jacket in this. I want to make a short winter style of jacket. And I know which one I want to make. And it's part of the new So Different pattern collection. Can't remember the name of it, but there's the image of the jacket. Now that doesn't do it justice. And I think in this fabric, it's going to look amazeballs. So that's sort of on my radar. But I'm going to have a really good think about what I'm going to make with this. So I've got 1.5 metres of it. Plenty enough for me to make a jacket. I think it was about £16 a metre, which is really good price for this fabric, and was made up. Then we spent a week sewing on Anglesey, and if you've not seen last Monday's vlog, I'll put the link in the details below where me and Steph go through the garments that we made while we were away last week. And on Anglesey, there is a shop called, there's not many fabric shops, but there's one called Sew Anglesey. It's mainly quilting. We go there and get thread, buttons, bits of haberdashery that we've forgotten. So that's all I was expecting to buy. But then I spied this denim, and it was £9.50 a metre. So snaffled it. I've already overlocked it because it needs to go in the washing machine this afternoon. It's got a little bit of elastane in, so it's got a little bit of stretch. Not enough stretch to make jeggings with, but I want to make another pair of the Barrymore jeans. There's the image of them from SBCC. I made these in pink cord as a toile, loved the fit, and I think with that little bit of give at the waist, they're going to fit even better and be more comfortable if I'm out and stuff in my face. So yeah, pair of Barrymore jeans, absolute must in those. I've got to get it washed. And that is all that I brought back. Not much, is it? Just a suitcase full of fabric. You know, just your average jaunt to a sewing shop. Not. So let's count up how many fabrics I brought back with me. Okay, I counted up and I've brought back 11 fabrics. And I also did that silly little order to Guthrie and Garney, the 2 fabrics. That's 13 fabrics. So by the time I go to Harrogate at the end of November, I've got to have made at least 13 garments before I can buy any fabric. And the reason I'm doing that is to try and keep my stash under control. It's becoming a bit of an obsession. I don't want it getting out of control again. I did a big de-stash and I'm trying to keep it manageable. So how many weeks is it till Harrogate? So if I've got 13 garments to make, how many is that a week? That's only just over 2 every week, isn't it? Perfectly doable for me. So I'm all right. I'm feeling a little bit better about things now because I was at the start of this vlog. I don't know if you noticed, but I was feeling quite overwhelmed with my fabric. But I'm all right now. Back on track. Get sewing and everything will be fine. So I hope you've enjoyed seeing what was in my suitcase. As I said, Steph and I will be back on Anglesey at the end of October, so early November there is going to be a special Sew Different Patterns sewing retreat, and that's all I'm telling you. So if you like Sew Different Patterns and you've seen the new collection, this is one not to be missed. Love you and leave you now. Take care, everyone. Have a beautiful sewing week. Love you loads. Oh, and if you're not subscribed, don't forget, hit that subscribe button, like, comment. Love you loads. Bye.